Lamette. I'm the president for the Rotary Club of Harrisburg, and I invite you to join us for a traditional luncheon meeting, service on a Monday, or Rotary alternate meeting. Everyone's invited, and that means you. Check out our website or Facebook page for more information.
So, I know you don't really want to see me up here. You all came here to listen to Tanis, but I think that we are fortunate to have as our member, not only the president of HAC, but the president of the board of directors of the Broad Street Market. So I'll turn it over to Ski.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I will keep this very short because Tanis is truly the person we want to hear from in regards to the Broad Street Market. But what I will say is, since it's a week ago today that the brick building experienced a very devastating fire, this past weekend we had many of the vendors had pop-up tents in the courtyard, and it was really affirming from the vendors themselves to hear about how their patrons came and supported them, gave them money and didn't buy product, but just to support them. And so the community has really come out in many ways. And I know the community is eager to help the Broad Street Market. The one thing I do want to say is the city owns the buildings, and the city is going to be working very hard with the county, with the state. You heard the governor say that they're committed to rebuilding the Broad Street Market, the oldest continuously used farmers market in the country, we believe. Some argue with that, but we're going to keep that. But it was really quite affirming to see the way that people came out this past weekend. And there are many plans underway on what will happen going forward to protect those vendors and to bring the market back and even stronger than ever. Some of you who may have been in the city for a while know that 27 years ago, the West Shore Market burnt to the ground and they rebuilt. And as you all know, that they are doing well as well. But there's nothing like the Broad Street Market to serve our communities. And so we're excited about the future. However, I am here to introduce Tanis Monroy. Tanis has been with us not very long, but he has done a phenomenal job in the time that he has been with us. And Tanis has been involved in community volunteer work, community leadership in various organizations for nearly 2 decades. And so we are very fortunate to have him as the executive director of the Broad Street Market. And he probably hasn't gotten any sleep in the last week since the fire. He was there at 1:30 when it had started and never went to sleep after that. He's a Carlisle native. He's a first-generation American. And we are very excited because you know how I like to look at connections between the speakers and your favorite community college HAC. He had a son who's 6 months old. So we are looking forward to, in 16 years, that little Gus will be a dual enrolled student when he's in high school. So we're very excited about that. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, with great gratitude, Tanis Monroy.
Thank you guys for having me. Nearly 7 months ago, I was just a couple months away from becoming a father, and I was also starting my dream job, a dream job that the Berg wrote an article and said is the hardest job in Harrisburg, and that is being the director of the Broad Street Market. And these past 7 months, while various challenges along the way have been very fulfilling for me, I've always enjoyed being in the community, getting to know people, seeing new faces, but also figuring out how we can connect and work together, whether that's working on a project or serving the community, and in some ways quite literally, but serving food or getting people clothes. So being at the Broad Street Market has allowed me to do that on a whole nother level. And the vendors at the Broad Street Market are so full of love for this community. A lot of them have been there for 30 plus years. One of our oldest vendors has been there for 40 years, having 3 generations have been there. And our customer base is also made up of people who have gone there for 30, 40, 50 plus years. So it's truly a community hub. So the last week, it was like losing a family member. But there is hope in all of this. There's hope in this tragedy, and there's an opportunity as well. And the opportunity is, and I invite all of you, if the Broad Street Market has touched your heart in any way, whether it's you or your family or your neighbor, I invite you to come along on this long journey to rebuild and bring the market back. And some of those ways that you can do that is by volunteering. You know, we have various projects that need done, but perhaps the biggest need is financially. So you can donate at broadstreetmarket.org. Should you feel, touched, which this community, truly needs the market. From Civil War days, the market fed 10,000 soldiers. To the pandemic, the market still fed people who needed food. And Harrisburg has been a known food desert. So I'm here to tell you that the market will be back and it will be better. But to also remember, we have a stone building that is also open Thursday through Saturday. So come out and support those vendors. And it's truly a family, because those vendors are also doing what they can to support the vendors who are displaced. So it's quite an example that I know Rotary is famous for, which is coming together around a need or a problem and solving it. Heck, you guys eradicated polio, right? So yeah, give you guys that is fantastic. Rotary has always been known for getting together and getting a solution. So, and Harrisburg, they're hardy people. They're people that come together and rally. And we've seen that over the past week. And my heart is full of love, full of optimism. And I can't wait to see what the future holds. I'm excited, and I can't wait to work with all of you and to work with Rotary and work with Harrisburg. Thank you.
Question. So Scott has the microphone.
You mentioned projects. I know my real estate agency is really interested in jumping in and helping out. How do you want us to go about that, or what is it specifically that you may need project-wise?
You can always reach out to me at broadstreetmarketmanager@gmail.com. But some of the projects is the stone building. Now more than ever, we want to make sure it stays safe and sound and fully thriving. So we are actually in the midst of putting a fire sprinkler system in there, and it won't be cheap. So we could definitely use help with that. And if we can get a few folks who are knowledgeable in that area, that'd be great. So feel free to reach out to me, and we can definitely talk more about it. Thank you.
Ski mentioned that the West Shore Farmers Market had experienced a fire and rebuilt and everything. I wondered whether the West Shore Farmers Market had reached out, and whether actually that sort of outreach had extended to any of the other local community markets around the region.
Yeah, a few of their vendors actually reached out just to ask if there's anything they could do to help. The Baltimore, DC markets also reached out because they've experienced similar tragedies in their history. So yeah, people from all over have kind of united behind this tragedy, which has been, it's unfortunate that it's come this way, but it really shows that people shine the most in the worst situation. So we can all come together.
Hi, thanks. You mentioned about Harrisburg being a food desert. Is this any chance of an opportunity to expand the footprint of the Broad Street Market so it does include those areas that really have no access to food? So is there a sort of way maybe this to expand, are we working, or make it more community-based?
Yeah, I'd actually been in talks with a few local groups in Harrisburg who work with the school district on local community gardens, and myself and the market has always been interested in lending a hand with that. Now, this could propel certain things or might cause some things to slow down, but if we have enough people at the table with ideas and feedback, we can certainly make something happen.
So obviously devastating to the community. So I'm sorry. And if there's any way we as a group can help, we certainly can and will. But is there anything we can do for the vendors directly too? There's good people, good community partners, and I'm sure that they've lost equipment. And I know that financial support is certainly helpful, but even if there's a list of items lost or things that they could recoup in the short term here, you know, there's a lot of people here and we certainly would love to.
Yeah, that's a great question. I've asked the vendors and we've kept, you know, up to date with them almost daily. And they have said the best way to support them is just ordering from them, because a lot of them are doing delivery right now, signing up for their CSA, just buying their product, and they're figuring out a way how to get that to the public. So JB Kelly Seafood is delivering from here all the way to Lancaster right now. Same with Veg Out, who does produce. So we have a list of those vendors. We'll be happy to share that with the Rotary members. And then they each have a website on how best to support them. But I would love to see, you know, an influx of orders coming in, and they'll be like, where did this come from? So I think that would make their day.
Yeah.
They also have GoFundMe pages. Some might have Venmo or Cash App as well.
Thank you for pointing out that there is a list of vendors. To provide some context, can you tell us exactly how many vendors have been displaced, and then again where we can go find that list and get in touch with them directly to do the ordering and whatnot?
As far as the list, it's up to date on our Facebook and Instagram right now, as well as our website. And there was 22 vendors that were directly impacted from the brick building.
Going back to the insurance question. Here, right here.
Hey, dear. I thought I heard you, but I didn't see your face.
Yes. What can we do as a group? Maybe force is not the right word, but to push the insurance. And what are they saying? Like, how much are they covering? Are they going to cover the vendors? So this way we know if there's something that we can do. Rally, do whatever.
I appreciate that. It's still very early, but what I know is there were 12 insurances that came last week, and a few more are coming today and tomorrow. So that will be the bulk of all the insurances. So it's, you know, it's our insurance, the city insurance, and the vendor insurance. So there's 3 levels, but once everybody comes into the market, gets their report, it should go fast. But if it doesn't, I'll definitely recruit the cavalry to come and write letters or go to the city and say, hey, what's going on?
There are a lot of wonderful farmers markets in central Pennsylvania because this is a great agricultural region, but none of them compare to the Broad Street Market for one reason, and that is those amazing historic buildings. And fortunately, the Stone Market is completely intact. But you know, it's the shape of those buildings that is so iconic, so much so that they're in your logo. You see the outline of the Stone Market and the outline of the brick market. So my question is this: we're hoping, of course, that the brick walls may be salvageable. I'm sure you have to await an engineering report for that. But if not, we're hoping that at least the appearance can be replicated in some way, including that iconic outline with a clear story above and everything. I mean, that's not as important as keeping the businesses going and so forth. But in the long run, you know, the next 150 years, it really would be great to know that there'll be some continuity in terms of something that really means a lot to people that visit there on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we've already heard from the city of Harrisburg in talking to the insurance that they want to keep the historic nature of it, especially the outside with the brick and also even the lantern style. They'll do what they can to keep that. I don't think there'll be a concern, and I think the public and historians such as yourself will be very, very happy.
We actually have a question from the Zoom room. Brad Gephardt asked, what is the next step or step-by-step plans to fix it? Is there a time frame for full recovery? Keeping the exterior building ? Tearing it down? Any ideas on what that looks like?
The exterior, we have heard that it's pretty sound and that they don't expect there to be any repair on the outside. Again, there could be an engineering company that says maybe, some parts, but as far as the timeline of things, the city is moving fast, but we don't have specifics just yet. But just know they are on it. We met with them almost every day last week, and they're definitely putting the pedal to the metal.
Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I am personally at the market multiple times a week, every single week, and spend thousands of dollars a year there personally. So if I can,
don't stop now.
Lead the patronizing effort, or if anybody needs to be introduced to the Broad Street Market, feel free to approach me personally. Curious, like will there be an influx of new grants? Do you have any sense of what will be grant funded versus sort of private fundraised from the citizens and the people around? I guess without the insurance, you won't know, but will there be an influx of new grants, or can we help secure new grants to support this?
Well, first I want to thank you for your support of the market and keep coming, because some of our brick vendors, if not most, are going to be popping up outside as much as they can, Thursday through Saturday, as well as our stone building being open. But yeah, we are looking at various grants, and we have been all year, historic grants for various improvement plans on the inside and the outside of the buildings. And now, with fundraising, there's a lot of public help as well. So I think maybe most of it will come from the public right now, just because of how supportive people have been. But we are looking at grants as far as state and federal wide.
Thank you for being here. I was lucky enough to have a stand in the Broad Street Market in the 80s. And so it's close to my heart. But now what to me is a real gem of the Broad Street Market is I go there to celebrate the diversity of our city. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Just curious, in this time of transition, are there in-kind services that the community could consider donating to help in this transition as you figure out what your actual path forward is?
I think there could definitely be an opportunity to be more involved in our events outside and just offering maybe some assistance and helping with cleanup. Because now we're going to be using that courtyard more than we've ever had. So we might need some more, hands and feet in the ground just to help us keep it maintained. And
so this may be too soon, but there may be things that were already in the back of your head of improvements that you would have wanted to make prior. So this may present an opportunity for those improvements to be made. Are there any things, just maybe your dream list of the way that you would see it be better than it was before with the rebuild?
We'll definitely have, we definitely have thought about having updated facilities because historically they've been really small, but we have an influx of people coming in, as well as having air conditioning in the summer. I think all of our vendors and our patrons would be excited about that. And maybe a new sign on the 6th Street side to let people know the market is there. And maybe something to commemorate, this historic day last week. So those would be on my immediate wish list. Maybe an elevator so we can build another floor up so we can have more vendors, but we'll see.
Hi, Tanis.
Hey, Joe.
There are on the poles, these tables that fold up, they need a new finish. I bet there'd be a crew here that might put a new finish on all those, and then those tables might help some of the overflow that the vendors are going to need. So that's one idea.
Thank you. That's yeah, great idea. You know, if anybody is handy and wants to get their hands dirty, that'd be an excellent project to get started on. There is an idea that will be presented on Wednesday to the vendors, which is creating a structure outside of the market on the green lot. And essentially it'd be a bubble or a dome. It'd be closed in. It would have running water, electricity, as well as floor plans. So that is an idea that will be presented to the vendors for feedback and see how that goes, along with other lists of ideas as well. So we're working on, you know, trying to keep our vendors a top priority and keep them taken care of.
Tanis, fortunately, the weather forecast says we got some 10 days of good dry weather coming, I guess. So with all the rain and all, and I did hear Ski say it's cities building. So are they going to push to do something to kind of mitigate the rainstorms we've been having? Because if we get another month of this kind of rain, that's going to do some more damage for those insurance claims. So what do we do? You know, and again, I know it's the city's building, so it's out of your hand, I guess.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but we, you know, they respect our feedback and, you know, stuff that we've been giving them as well. So we can definitely, you know, let them know that if they're not aware already. But like I said, they're moving fast. So we expect this to be a fast process, as fast as it can be. And, you know, hopefully we get back up and running soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.